welcome back. If you're anything like me and don't quite treat your board with the respect it deserves when you're up on that hill, you're going to want to come here, Snowboard Klinik. So tell me exactly what goes on here at the Snowboard Klinik.
Right, this workshop is the head workshop for the country for servicing in Ellis-Brigham. We can do absolutely everything here, from waxing all the way up to a full service where we're repairing the base of the board for all gouges and scratches.
Why specifically snowboard is it important to maintain the base?
When you're out on the mountain, a lot of the rocks and stones in the snow gouge the bottom of your board. Too many scratches and gouges can end up it being a lot slower. When you wax a board that's really scratched and gouged, the wax doesn't really take to it that well. Also, the PTEX can oxidise, which also affects the speed of the board.
There's absolutely no point in splashing out on a brand new board if you're not prepared to maintain it.
You've got to kind of think to get it professionally serviced when it needs it. People that do a lot of rows end up doing a lot of damage to their boards, get a lot of damage of cracked edges and scratches to the base.
Why is it better to come here than do your own botched job at home?
At home you've got only a restricted amount of stuff you can do with your board. Obviously you can't have machines in your house.
What sort of machines do you use?
It's like PTEX extruders which heat the PTEX up so it comes out completely molten, rather than sitting at home with a lighter or an iron trying to drip it into your gouge.
So basically you can get things up to a much higher temperature here.
You can overheat the base of your board or your skis, which can cause the PTEX to bubble up, and once that's happened it kind of written the board off really. A lot of the cheap equipment use foam as well as wood and carbon, so the foam expands in the heat and then that's it, game over. Got machines as well, which I think it's about £25,000. A lot of people can't really afford to buy that kind of thing to service at home.
So what sort of machinery are you talking about?
At home you can only really use the little hand edges. With a machine like that we can adjust the bevel of the edge as well between -5 and +5, so you can get a better edge on your equipment, so get a better grip in the ice and the snow.
Okay, so what goes into a full service?
It's basically everything, starting off with base grinding to get rid of all the smaller scratches and gouges. This is the noisy bit where we get the machine running. The main grinder, which basically it's got a belt, a sand belt on it, which takes a small layer of PTEX off the base of your equipment, which gets rid of all kind of fine scratches and gouges.
Okay Dan, so what's next?
Next we look at the board, we're left with all the deeper gouges that need filling. Gouge them out a little bit more just to make them a bit deeper so the PTEX will sit in them.
We are in big trouble.
The first grind is to get rid of the heat marks from the PTEX.
So long.
We do a stone grind as well, which breaks up the suction between your board and the snow, so it makes it a little bit faster.
I've got to stay here in case it shoots off that way. Very impressive.
Right, stone grinding time. Yeah, now we've done the stone grinding, there's only 2 more stages left to do.
Edges?
Once you've done the edging, we do the waxing, and that's the full service. Right, you can bevel it from -5 all the way up to +5. The machine does the side edge on the base edge, so you can have any angle between that on your board. The best angle to have is 87. Racers like to have a sharper edge, so they'd have it at 85 degrees. People that are doing a lot of rails like to have the edges beveled away from the snow, so you don't catch and smash your face. Rails they're great fun, but do damage your equipment very easily. Depending on the type of rider, it depends on how much we detune it.
So what do you mean by detune?
Basically the ends of the boards are dead edge. You don't use it to turn, and if it is sharp, when you are going into a turn, it can catch and cause it to catch an edge and flip over. If it's like a relatively new rider just learning, then we detune it quite a bit, probably about there onwards. For someone who's been boarding for a long time, quite experienced, they'd only detune it a little bit, probably only detune about that much.
Played with the edge and I've got a scalp.
That's gonna hurt. Ow.
I've got a couple of shirts if you've got a bit of time on your hands.
You know, I use one of these every day, but I wouldn't know how to start ironing clothes. So that's it, full service. Excellent, sorted.